We start this presentation today from this panoramic spot in Solis that gives you a pretty good idea of the extent of the world. Let's just jump down the cliff. Needless to say, both parachute and wingsuit are back. We know how much you did love those in the previous games, so we did the extra effort to perfect them even more. We improved the interaction model, and we've polished the animation and the way that Rico relates to his parachute and the wingsuit. The result is an experience that feels extremely natural and organic. We just landed on an airstrip. Something is missing, I guess a plane. So why don't we drop one? Here it is. Coming in style. So it's pretty colorful, and the reason is that this plane was actually belonging to the Black Hand, so it was looking quite badass, black and red, but your army took control of it, and it just graffitied and made it fun. Because in this game, Rico will indeed need to master an army and create it. The challenge is going to be tough. He can't do it by himself. Oh, here it's another one of my favorites. Probably this is my favorite sub-biome in the desert, is the canyon that goes with a river at the bottom. Now, the world is big, and it's big not just for the sake of being big. It's big because Rico moves fast. He moves fast if he's in a vehicle, he moves fast if he's in his wingsuit, and he basically teleports himself every time that he fires his grappling hook. So we literally need ground to cover. Let's get straight into one of the centerpieces of the game and of the franchise, the grappling hook. So what you loved from Just Cause 3, it's back. As you see, you can tether things and you can retract them. But this time around, you can do much more than that. Indeed, you can change the attachment that you put on your grappling hook. For example, you can attach booster to it and send things spinning around. Or you can go with, currently is the YouTuber favorites. We call it airlifter. Everybody else calls them balloons for some reason, but I like airlifter. And what they do, they defy gravity. And in this case, Brian is just sending stuff up the sky, just goes. And it's not just about attachments. Brian, let's put up the customization screen. Let's scare people a little bit. Okay, you got different loadouts, but what I want to draw your attention in, let's just go into the airlifter one. Here it is. Each attachment can actually be modified by applying different mods over it. What Brian is doing now is instructing the airlifter to follow Rico wherever he goes. Now, one moment, because we get him game. So you see, there were a set of mods for the airlifter. There are mods for the retractor. There are mods for the boosters. And you can also change the strength at which each one of these operates. And at the end of the day, we made a calculus yesterday, just for the fun of it. You got more than 4 million combinations. So we got the airlifter attached to a red barrel. The jet up there, it could have very easily gone onto that. And now the airlifter is following Rico wherever he goes. So Brian has just built a cloud of red barrels. What do you do with a cloud of red barrels? You rain explosions, right? We have unlocked everything in this build for the sake of the demo. It goes without saying that as you play the game, you will progressively unlock your supply drops, you will progressively unlock your grappling hook attachment and mods. As you've seen, a novelty of 4 versus 3 is that you can precisely decide where your supply drop has to fall along with the orientation. This is, again, something that we do for players so that they can have a bigger control on their setups. So here Brian needs to change the way that both the airlifter and the booster works. And I guess what we've created, it's a flying tank. So what's interesting here is that the player, Brian there, is still driving the tank, And this is, since we have engineered the control so that you can use your grappling hook attachments even when you are driving vehicles. At the same time, everything about the tank is still working, so you can shoot your rockets and you can shoot your minigun. Now, I will watch this thing for hours, but I don't think we have hours here, Brian, so that we can cut it short and maybe change scenario. Bye, tank. We are going to switch now to the rainforest, namely to a place called Meteolab. It's also a quite nice sunny day, so the situation is calm, it's beautiful, there's a little breeze. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna to change everything by basically calling a lightning storm. So in this part of the mission, in this bit, the Meteolab is under the spell of a lightning storm and of a black hand attack. And what we are asking the player to do, we are asking the player to rise 3 lightning rods so that they will attract lightning and make the area secure for Rico and his army. The point is that here everything happens, it's procedurally generated, so we don't really have control when a lightning strike, like now. Great, Brian. I said they need to feel challenging. Oh, but maybe in this situation, we may have it right. And let's say if it works, the lightning should hit the chopper, and indeed, it hits the chopper. And I could definitely watch this going on for hours and hours as for the flying tanks, but again, we don't have hours and hours, so I apologize about that. But we've seen quite a lot of things. We've seen Solis, and hopefully now you have a better idea of what the extent and the variety of the world actually entail. We had a very little sneak peek of the park of vehicles and weapons within the game. I've mentioned that each weapon comes with a secondary fire, and that vehicles themselves, most of the time, comes with some novelty, something new to discover, something that you can use to the end of the sandbox. Similarly for destruction objects and prop of the world. There's always a little secret to discover, always a little interaction that will make you smile at the moment that you use the grappling hook on them. And last but not least, we've seen a second extreme weather event after the tornado, which is the lightning storm. Thank you guys, I hope you did enjoy the demo.